What is up, my friends? Your weekend has officially started and you are very welcome along to Friday evening's Anfield Agenda News Roundup. Over the course of this video, I'm going to be filling you in on a bit of a plot twist in the Alexander Isak situation. We're going to speak about Luis Diaz and his proposed move to Bayern Munich, a little bit on Hugo Ekitike, as well as, of course, the Reds look to get a deal done with Eintracht Frankfurt. But if you want all of these stories and more before anybody else, then make sure you do join the Anfield Agenda WhatsApp community. Scan that QR code on the screen there now. That will bring you in. We launched this about 2.5 weeks ago, and we've already got 8,500 people in that community. And thank you to everybody who's in there. Right, let's get cracking. So you know the drill. Once I record the video, do let me know your thoughts. If you enjoy it, hit the like button. And of course, we'd love you to hit that subscribe button. We've gone past 1/3 of a million subscribers now. Only 660 odd thousand to go. So let's get cracking. Right. So we're going to talk about Luis Diaz first. And this report from Florian Plettenberg said that FC Bayern are continuing to push to sign Luis Diaz. Negotiations and talks with Liverpool and the players' camp are ongoing. Now, I've been thinking quite a lot about this over the last 24 hours. And I'm not sure whether Liverpool's plan here will be to go for EKITIKE and Gordon, EKITIKE and Rodrigo, or dare I say it, Newcastle fans, EKITIKE and Isak. Again, more on that in a moment. So Bayern Munich have the funds set aside to sign both Luis Diaz and Nick Voltmatter this summer, according to Christian Falk. A bid of €80 million for Diaz and €65 million for Voltmatter could bring both clubs to the table. And for what it is worth, I do think, yeah, €80 million probably will get Liverpool's attention. Will it get the deal done? Well, I probably wouldn't be far off it if I'm being honest. Now, again, sticking with Bayern this time, they said Bayern are making progress for Luis Diaz after Liverpool's initial not for sale stance. There are now indications that things are really moving forward and that concrete negotiations can begin soon. A meeting between Bayern and Liverpool officials is planned. Diaz has agreed a 4-year deal with Bayern until 2029, worth around €14 million gross per year, which is about what, 280 grand a week, if my maths is right, or is that 7? It's 20 grand a week is £1 million a year. So I'll let you do the maths on that one, but it is still, well, I think 280 grand a week is right, which is a pretty hefty signing on fee there for Luis Diaz, or wage, I should say, certainly up on what he's going to get at Liverpool. So money talks. Right, let's move on to Graham Bailey. And again, this one is about Darwin Nunees, but there is more to come on Isak in a second. So Graham Bailey said, understand that Darwin Nunees has indicated he is willing to move to the Saudi Pro League this summer, which is set to accelerate their interest in him. Nunees had wanted to join Napoli, as was being reported by many, but they obviously couldn't agree a deal with Liverpool. So at least now we know, according to various reports, that Darwin is open to the idea of joining Saudi side, either Al Hilal or somebody else, because Al Hilal, you won't believe, has set the targets on somebody, and Newcastle fans won't be happy. Again, we'll get to that in a second. Right, so Ian Doyle said it seems unlikely that the Reds will finish their attacking recruitment drive with the purchase of EKITIKE, not least given question marks remain over the majority of the senior forwards on the Reds' books. And it is interesting to say the least. Like, we don't know what's happening with Chiesa. We don't know what's happening with Diaz. We don't know what's happening with Darwin just yet. We don't know what's happening with the likes of incomings as well. Hugo Ekitike. We know Mohamed Salah staying around. We know Cody Gakpo staying around. We don't know what's happening with the likes of Elliott just yet. So there is still a lot of business to be done in this window. This piece here from Alto Belli said Bayern Munich have also agreed terms for Luis Diaz, and again they mentioned that €14 million gross wage. Alex Crook has said Liverpool may cash in on Luis Diaz if Bayern get close to £80 million. And there's been some talk that Rodrigo could come in as a replacement. Now, for what it's worth, I'm hearing mixed things about the interest in Rodrigo. Some people feel that the interest is there, but others that I've exchanged messages with don't think that there is much sincerity to this interest. I really don't know, but I'm intrigued to find out. Right, again, Anfield Agenda this time, repeating the same thing, €14 million per year salary for Luis Diaz. Alex Crook again talking about Liverpool and Rodrigo. But here's the real plot twist in today's events, ladies and gentlemen, and it is that Al Hilal of the Saudi Pro League, again, which is owned and ran by the PIF, are considering a move for Alexander Isak, and that's per DiMarzio. So Newcastle fans, what have you got to say about this one? And I know that you're all probably going to be running to the keyboards to go, yeah, but it's out of the Premier League, so it doesn't matter. but your own owners are potentially looking to take your star player. How does that feel? Because we were told, that they were going to push back on Liverpool and try to push Liverpool down and bully Liverpool, but looks as if they're more interested in trying to shithouse their own club. What have you got to say about that one, Newcastle fans? Still want them to, stay loyal? It's looking unlikely. Right, Liverpool optimistic on reaching an agreement with Eintracht Frankfurt for Hugo Ekitike, said Ben Jacobs. Frankfurt are meticulous negotiators. Advanced talks continue today over a potential move this weekend. Right, Florian Plettenberg, speaking about the Luis Diaz situation, said, to my clear understanding, he is a candidate for sale for Liverpool and he has a price. And look, I agree with Plettenberg on this. I've always said all summer, you don't get Luis Diaz talking with other clubs unless Liverpool have some form of an interest in selling, or at least are open to the idea of it. He goes on to say Bayern Munich is informed about this and is in constant talks with Liverpool for Luis Diaz. They've had very positive talks with Diaz and have also informed that Bayern Munich has presented him with the idea of giving him a contract until at least 2029. Right, this one. Ben Jacobs, speaking with Grizz Khan, shout out to Grizz, said Anthony Gordon is a player that Liverpool are keeping an eye on. He went on to say there will be a chance, if the left side is being strengthened, that Liverpool will revisit Anthony Gordon. There is another one to keep an eye on, Rodrigo. It's not that I'm getting acknowledgement of appreciation from Liverpool, because I am. It's just the idea that they're in Madrid negotiating and are ready to bid feels premature. See what I mean here about the kind of mixed reading of how serious Liverpool are for Rodrigo. Look, I'd be more than happy with Rodrigo in. I'd be more than happy with Anthony Gordon in, but I don't know how this one pans out just yet. Rousing the Cop have come up with what they call an exclusive to say Liverpool have not left the table for Alexander Isak. So is there this mad world where Liverpool end up doing what Newcastle wanted to do, which is trying to have Ekitike and Isak in the same 11? I don't know, is the honest answer, but you'll see as the day goes on, we haven't left the negotiating table yet. They say the Reds will remain in the picture until the striker signs a new contract with Newcastle. Suggestions that an approach was made to unsettle Isak has been rubbished. Right, next up. Hugo Ekitike's move to Liverpool is becoming more and more likely, said Bild in Frankfurt. The clubs are already moving within a framework that makes an agreement very likely. The improved offer from Liverpool is expected in the near future, and talks between Liverpool and Eintracht Frankfurt are intense. Going to keep moving. Alexander Isak said Fabrizio Romano, well, he said, the Isak story depends on Newcastle. At the moment, Newcastle insist on their stance. If that changes, Liverpool are always attentive. So, I don't know. I'm going to pause for a second because I want to wonder what you guys are thinking out there. Are we going to make a play for both? Is there any world where we walk away from Ekitike? Or do Liverpool still genuinely feel that Newcastle can be tested for Isak? Certainly feels like we're not done yet. Even if Liverpool's move for Hugo Ekitike comes to fruition, said Sammy Mockbell of the BBC, you can expect interest in Isak to remain. As things stand, the former Real Sociedad forward will enter the final 2 years of his contract next summer, a juncture at which Newcastle face significantly more jeopardy. Of course, Liverpool, with or without Ekitike, may enter next summer's transfer window believing they do not require another centre forward. So, again, keeping our options open. This one here from Santi Aruna, or Santi_J_FM on X, said, understand Isak has given initial green light to start discussions for HILAL move. Talks ongoing between the Saudi club and his agent. Now, I've got to say, I take that with a massive pinch of salt. And I think Newcastle fans might agree with me here. Isak will have ambitions to win big competitions in Europe. That's what he wants to do, to make his mark at the top level. He's coming right into the prime of his career. I struggle to see a world where he accepts the move to HILAL. It would be huge money, no doubt about that. But will it meet his footballing ambitions? Honestly, no. And I would say Newcastle fans would probably agree with me. I think he'd be better suited staying at Newcastle than moving to HILAL or anywhere in the Saudi Pro League. But let me know your thoughts in the comments. And finally, to finish up, nothing really Liverpool related, but it is a former player of Arne Slot. Fabrizio Romano has said David Hanko to Al Nassr. Here we go. Deal in place for the defender to join the Saudi Pro League side. €33 million plus add-on fee agreed with Feyenoord after long negotiations. Contract until June 2028 for the defender. So there we go. Big move starting to happen now as the Saudi Pro League transfer window opens up. Right, folks, tonight You know the score, 8:45. I'll be back here. We'll get stuck into it. We'll take you through the very latest with Hugo EKITIKE, try and figure out what's going on with Isak, and of course, keep you up to date with Diaz and Darwin Nunees as well. Until then, have a wonderful weekend. Thank you for your time. We'll talk soon. Much love.